So Charles, the other day, we released a blog post on LinkedIn where I mentioned that we were dangling a carrot around direct ordering. And I know we haven't really talked a lot about what direct ordering is openly because it's been we'll call it tightly held secret. But now that we're finally releasing the program in a few days, do you want to dig into it a little with me?
Yeah, so direct ordering, it might be the most exciting Buying Freedom Group release. It is really bringing what the most cutting edge e-commerce and overall commerce platforms are doing in your conventional spaces. So think TikTok Shop, think Amazon, even comparing it to things like Squarespace, where you as a manufacturer can list your inventory directly to thousands of dealers, currently primarily in the shooting sports space. So, the beauty there is, right, conventionally, this is an old school industry, the outdoor, the hunting, the shooting sports space. You've got these big distributors that all kind of have the same generic product that funnel down, to the dealers. And what we're doing is giving a direct connection from manufacturing to that dealer network. So if you are an outdoor brand, whether you're like a multinational company or like a cottage industry with a cool product, we're allowing you to circumvent that, 3-year process of getting into distribution and going direct to those dealers.
Yeah, I know that one of the big things that people associate Buying Freedom Group with is the Smith and Wessons of the world, right? It's the firearms manufacturers because historically we work with a lot of the POS ecosystems that are very firearm specific. So whether that be Celerant or Coreware, AIM, etc. My point here is that it's not just firearms. So I think we were talking the other day, Charles, about hunting as a good litmus, right, for all of this. When I go hunting, yeah, I take my gun and I take, a box of 20 rounds and it goes on my backpack and it might get used on a 4-day hunting trip for 8 to 10 minutes of the entire trip. But my Carhartt jacket gets worn the entire time. My wool socks get worn the entire time. My hiking boots, my hat, my et cetera, et cetera. So I want to make sure to elaborate on something that you just said, which is the outdoor sports brands, which again, not just firearms, but everything from solar panels to solar generators to clothing to shoes, et cetera. And do you want to just talk a little bit about some of the brands? Like I see there's a Pelican case right behind you.
That's right. Yeah. So it's interesting. There's always been this line in the sand in the outdoor industry and the sort of hunting and outdoor industry, like hunting and camping. Right. You've got like your REIs, and then you've got your Bass Pros and your gun shops, and there's really not a division there. That's artificial. The people that are buying you know $2,000 pistols or $500 pistols, those are the customers that your conventional outdoor brands want because they're actually getting outside as a lifestyle. And to your point, maybe they buy a firearm, but they want a reason to use that. So they're the ones actually buying dehydrated food and actually using it, right? Because they're out there. They're the ones that are wearing through their socks and it's a consumable, right? Not the person that's like, hey, I'm going to go hike Kilimanjaro, and they buy a set of wool pair of socks once for that single trip. So it's a huge value add to your sort of non-conventional outdoor brands. And we've already seen this, right? So the outdoor brands that alienate the hunters are kind of failing. But then even Patagonia, right? Did you know they have a law enforcement and armed forces segment? Same with outdoor research, same with Arc'teryx, right? So there's actually a massive crossover in the outdoor space to that conventional, kind of hunting brand. And then I think, overlanding is another great example of, consumers with buying power. They want to have a reason to use the stuff they buy. Or it's like, how many Jeep Rubicons do you see driving around, right? People dropping 70K on a dual locked, off roader, and they'll drive 8 hours to go off-roading for 2 hours, right? They want to be the kind of person that needs that. And I think that that's a good parallel with firearms. You want to be the person that goes shooting, but kind of the dirty secret of the shooting sports industry is nobody actually shoots their guns, but they do a lot of activities that are adjacent to it. So, a long way to say, if you're a brand, whether you make cases, whether you make dehydrated food, clothing, apparel, survival gear, even automotive, right? We were just looking at this cool jump starter. These are all things that we can connect you directly with consumers with buying power, and dealers that will promote your products for you.
So Charles, when we're talking, like you just showed up the NOCO, you got the Pelican case behind you. We're talking about the overlanding space. So think rooftop tents, solar generators, solar panels, water filtration systems. Like the sky's really the limit in the outdoor space, right? I think COVID was one of those really unfortunate events that happened globally, but also really opened up the outdoor space to a lot of people who have become enthusiasts, myself included. I'm about to go and live in Zion National Park for the entirety of the winter. So I'm stocking up on my heated blankets and making sure my solar panels are working right and all those sorts of things. All that to say, if I'm one of those outdoor, we'll just call it outdoor brands, and I send you my product data and we get everything into the ecosystem, like what does that look like from a sales perspective? Like how are you able to take those products from those from those manufacturers and then push them downstream into the stores in a way that gets it in front of the consumer?
Yeah. So say you make a super cool power bank that's new to the market. We can take your product data. We can even do 3D and augmented reality rendering and take that product data. We upload it to our platform, and automatically your product is going to show up on thousands of point of sale systems and e-commerce sites. And then if a consumer places an order on one of those e-commerce sites, that order actually automatically transmits back to you, with the information for the customer, and then you're going to fulfill that to the end customer. So the other nice thing is you've got a direct relationship with those dealers, so you can even put out stocking dealer orders. You can help track and manage the inventory that they have and really promote your products in retail as well as online. You can even push out spiffs to those employees. Maybe they get a free product if they sell X amount in store. So it's kind of a hybrid approach where you can list it for drop ship on their website, but we're also going to help you plug that inventory in to their actual brick and mortar retail locations. And we actually have a great event coming up second week of November where you as a brand are going to be able to present your product on our webinar to, again, thousands of dealers. So you can create that relationship, and then automatically those dealers can order from you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think we'll make sure that we include the link in the description below or wherever you're seeing this video for that webinar. We'd love you guys to come. I know we're talking at a high level about the functionality and capabilities of the system, but if you want to see it firsthand and understand how it all works, it's on Veterans Day. Again, we'll include the link below so that you guys could join. Definitely RSVP, sign up, and we hope to see you there.